Hello and welcome to your final set of lessons this week. We are very impressed that you have been so dedicated and that you've been doing the YouTube lessons right up to the last week. So not many left. We've got 5 English and 5 maths, and then you can really enjoy your summer holiday and relax knowing that you've worked your absolute hardest. Let's get started. So today we will be looking at fractions of a set of objects. So here we've got different coloured bears. The question is, Tommy eats 1/2 of the gummy bears. How many gummy bears does Tommy eat? Now before we start finding half, what could we do to make it easier to find half? That's right, we could arrange them into 2 equal groups. Because 1/2 means 1 out of 2 equal groups. So if they're in 2 equal groups, we can just have a look at one of those equal groups. So Tommy eats 1/2 of all the gummy bears. How many gummy bears does Tommy eat? One group out of a possible 2 groups. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gummy bears. Tommy gives 1/3 of the gummy bears to Eva. How many gummy bears does Eva get? So last time we found half of the gummy bears and we split them into 2 equal groups. Now we've got to find 1/3 of the gummy bears. So what can we do now to make it easier? We can split them into 3 equal groups, can't we? I'm going to use counters this time. So instead of using the bears, we've turned them into counters. And they're arranged in 3 equal groups. So this is one equal group, this is another equal group, and this is another equal group. So 1/3 means 1 out of 3 of the equal groups. So I want to just have a look at one of those groups. So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1/3 of the teddy bears is the same as 5. We have got 15 bears altogether. So 1/3 of 15 is 5. If I said what is 2/3 of 15? That means that I want to look at 2 out of the 3 equal groups. So the 15 teddy bears or 15 counters have been shared into 3 groups. This is one group, 2 groups, 3 groups. So 2/3 is 2 out of the 3 groups. So how many counters is the same as 2/3 of 15? It's 5 here plus 5 more. So it's 10 gummy bears. Tommy gives 1/5 of the gummy bears to Ron. How many gummy bears does Ron get? So we've got 15 bears again, which we are representing as counters. So this time we're looking at 1/5, 1 out of 5 equal groups. Can you see clearly 5 groups here? We've now got to have a look at the columns, haven't we? So that's 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, 5 groups. So 1/5 is 1 out of the 5 groups, and that is 3. So 1/5 of 15 equals 3. What's 2/5 of 15? That means 2 out of 5 groups. This is one group, this is another group. So what's 2/5 of 15? It's 6, isn't it? What's 3/5 of 15? 3 equal groups. One group, 2 groups, 3 groups. It's 9. What's 4 out of the 5 equal groups? It's 12. And then what is 5/5 of 15? It's all of them. So when the numerator is the same as the denominator, it's all of them, it's a whole one. There are 20 cars in a car park. One half of the cars are red. How many cars are red? So last time, if you remember, we found one half of the gummy bears. How many equal groups did we split them into? We split them into 2 equal groups because one half means 1 out of 2 equal groups. Let's have a look at this as a bar model this time. So you've got 20 altogether, and you split the 20 counters into 2 equal groups, so into half, and you've got 10 on each side. Or arranging it like this, you've got a bar model, it's 20 altogether, split it in half, and you've got 10 on that side and 10 on that side. So this is one half, and this is another half. 2 halves is 20, all of it is 20, but just one half is 1 out of the 2 sections, so it's 10. So 1 half of 20 equals 10. That's the same as saying 20 divided by 2 equal groups. Answer is 10. So 1 half of 20 was 10. What's 1/4 of 20? And what's 1/5 of 20? If you want to, you could draw yourself a bar model. So this means we want 1 out of 4 equal parts. So 20 has got to be split up into 4 equal parts. And here, 20 has got to be split up into 5 equal parts. And we want 1 out of 5 parts. Pause the video while you have a go at this question. So, we've got 20 and we want to split it into 4 equal parts, and that's 5 in each part. So 1 out of the 4 parts equals 5. And here, we've got 20 altogether again. We have 5 equal parts. One of those 5 parts equals 4. So 1/5 of 20 equals 4. If you're not confident with the numbers, then what you could do is share counters or circles or teddy bears into each section until you've got 20. There are 48 children in a year group. 1/4 of them are boys. How many boys are there? This time we're going to have a look at place value counters on a bar model. So 48 is made up of 4 10s and 8 1s. So what I'm going to do is share the 10s across into each box and share the 1s across into each box and see how many is in each section. So I've got 4 equal sections because I want 4 parts, and I want to know how many children are in 1 out of those 4 parts. So I want to know how many is just in 1 box. So what I do is I share them out. That one goes there, that one goes there, that one goes there, that one goes there, that one goes in 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 there, 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 and it looks like this. So 1/4 is just 1 out of 4 parts. So what is 1/4 of 48? It's 10 add 1 add 1. So 1/4 of 48 is 12. Okay, the question is slightly different now. There are 48 children in a year group. 1/3 of them are boys. So how many boys are there? I've got my place value counters. It's still 4 10s and 8 1s. If I need a third, what do I split my bar model into? It's got to be 3 equal sections. So I've now got to share these into 3 equal groups. So that 10 is going to come over here. Let's just write it in this time. That 10 is going to come here. That 10 is going to come here. And that 10, where can that go? I can't put it in there and not have them in there because I need equal groups. So what can I do with this 10? I could swap it for 10 1s. So now I've got 10 1s and I'm going to get rid of that one. So I'm going to cross this out and I'm going to bring in 10 ones. So I can now share the rest of these ones out, hopefully into equal groups. So that is going to come here. This one is going to come here. This one. And then share these 3 out. Share these 3 out. Share these 3 out. The next 3. And the next 3. So 1/3 of 48 is just one of these equal parts. So what is the answer to 48 divided by 3, or 1/3 of 48? It's 16. So we've got 16 there, 16 there, and 16 there. Well done if you knew that. Now this is your last slide. So 48 split into 3 equal parts was 16. That's 1/3 of 48 equals 16. 48 divided by 3 equals 16. Now this is a tricky challenge. I'd like to know what the missing numbers are here. Look what we did. For 1/3 of 48 we got 16. We divided the 48 by the 3 to get 16. How did we get the 48? What can you do with these two numbers, 3 and 16, to get 48? We don't add them, do we? We don't subtract them and we don't divide them. So the numbers got a lot bigger. So we've multiplied the 3 by the 16. So what we're going to do here to get this one, we've got to multiply the 4 and the 21. What do we do here? We've got to multiply the 4 and the 23. So pause the video and see if you can use your strategies to do that. So 21 multiplied by 4. You could have 21 as in a 10 and a 10 and a 1 and have that 4 times. Or you could do this method. So 1 multiplied by 4 is 4. 2 multiplied by 4 is 8. So it's 84. And then 4 multiplied by 23. So here we've got 21. I'm going to add 2 ones to each one. So I've got 23. And I can add all the 10s and add all the 1s. Or I could do this method. So 3 multiplied by 4 is 12. 2 times 4 is 8. Add 1 is 9. And here I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82, 83, 86, 89, 90, 91, 92. Well done. We'll see you tomorrow for some more maths.